have Farah Ann in the studio with us.
Thank you so much for making the trip down to our humble studio, Farah.
Thank you for the invite. I'm so happy to be here with both of you.
Yeah. I'm smiling, I don't know why.
Oh my God,
Juanita,
Douglas, stop.
ask question before I embarrass myself faster.
Yeah, what have you been up to since the big announcement? Have you been on holiday? What have you been doing? Spending more time with family?
I've been just Netflixing. I've been sitting on the couch. I've been reminiscing on my career, and so basically I'm just been my body has given up on itself because I put it through so much hard work, and now it's just like, okay, finally get to rest, and so it just gave up. And so lying on the couch that I would say, and like coming for interviews with you guys, I had to pick myself out the couch to come be here with you.
I pick myself off the bed to come and do this every night. Every night, every morning. I mean, your sister also being a sports person.
Yeah.
She's synchronized swimming.
Yeah,
is it?
they call it artistic swimming now.
Artistic. Okay, so among all your siblings, who is the best athlete?
I would say my sister. Yeah, like Katrina, or I call her Tina, my sis. You would never meet. Like, she inspires me so much. She is the most hardworking person in the world. She's creative. She's strong, and like there were days where she trained like 8 hours, and that's like more than I've ever trained.
Your muscle will break.
Yeah, but because they were getting ready for example, like I've won 3 gold medals at the SEA Games, right? And that's my best achievement in one SEA Games. My older sister has won 5 gold medals at one SEA Games.
Wow.
Yeah.
In different
Palembang.
sports or
in different sports. And there was one in Sukma Malaysia. I competed in one sport, and I think I won like 6 medals at that time. She competed in 2 sports and won 2 golds in both sports.
Wow.
In artistic swimming and also in gymnastics. So yeah, I mean, she is my idol, and yeah, so for me,
So your older sister?
yeah, she's my older sister.
you qualified for Japan 2020.
Yes.
How did you feel when COVID happened and it might have... It's not your fault, you qualified,
So it was such an amazing journey. I mean, after the heartbreak of not qualifying for Rio and then going and qualifying. So I qualified for Tokyo Olympics in the 2019 World Championship. So
Right.
in 2019, I knew in October that I qualified.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, we planned out, everything is planned out. We're going to go, training and everything's planned out. And so in January, like COVID, the COVID started. And I was like, no. And I was so determined. I was like, no, so the Olympics has never been cancelled. They've only been cancelled once, I think, during World War II.
Yeah.
That was the only time Olympics has ever been cancelled in the entire longevity
lah.
of the history of the Olympics, modern Olympics. So I was like, okay, no. After my coach, no, they're not gonna cancel it. And I had like a vision. Of course, like it would be one of my last hurrahs, and my family. So even my grandparents were trying to get tickets. My family was getting tickets. Like flights everything was bought.
Yeah.
Like hotels. My sister was flying down from Australia. My grandparents were flying down from Canada. My parents were coming, and so it was a whole family affair. Everything. Then we go into lockdown for 3 months, and I'm not training, and I'm just like, well, if I don't train now, I'm not gonna be ready for the Olympics. And then they're like, I know the heartbreak of not going for Rio, but the heartbreak for actually qualifying
and then having it
cancelled, I couldn't even and like that's when I guess my anxiety started. So I've had anxiety for competition, but not in this way. There was like waves of it, and I really couldn't, and I was just hopeful. And finally when they announced it'd be postponed, I'm like, okay, never mind, plus a year, it's okay. Yeah, so but when you get there and you get to the village and you see the Olympic rings and like all the athletes are there, and like, oh my God, you're finally here. And I came in and I saw everything, and so at that time it was the most normal thing in the entirety of like COVID.
Yeah.
Because everyone's wearing their masks, we're tested every day, but it's semi-normal because there's so many athletes there.
Right.
And for me, it was seeing the 5 Olympic rings and being able to say like, oh my God, I finally achieved this. And I think the most important story for me is like, obviously after competing, I broke down after competing. It's because I finally realized that I'm gonna cry. I finally realized after 25 years of competing, I finally achieved the one goal that I set for myself. And at that moment, and people are like, oh, why are you crying? And I'm not sad. I'm so happy to be able to do that. And I remember waking up the next morning, I sat on my bed and I sat and I thought, oh my God, is this what it feels like to be proud of yourself? So the first moment in my entire career, I was actually proud of myself, of something that I had achieved. And I've never felt that feeling in my entire career. Like how many years I've been competing for Malaysia. And at that moment, I was, oh, this is what it feels like. Yeah, that whole the whole experience is, and also competing when nobody is around. It's like there's one moment when you see me on floor, I kind of like lift my hands up and I want to wave to the crowd, but there's no crowd.
Nobody there.
So I'm just like, and I kind of like put my hand down again because I'm like, I'm not waving to anybody.
Yeah, I was watching some of the games and it was really sad that there was no one to witness the moments of glory.
Yeah.
But what you said just now, I thought is something that's going to resonate with me and for all our listeners. Like you felt proud of yourself, and that was one defining moment, and it's going to stay with you, and no one can take that away from you. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.